Mistakes of my life. I've made quite a few mistakes of my life. The biggest one probably was deciding to speak after Gary Johnson. That's been an awesome act to follow. Then following Mrs. Johnson. And of course, Billy. I mean, I've been chairman of this football club, I think, nearly 20 years. This has been the most awesome season, the most awesome day, the most awesome night in that 20 years, without any question at all. The open top bus today. The open top bus today was fantastic. Cheltenham Town has done 5 open top bus tours in the last 19 years. Probably more than any other football club in the Football League. And we are now in the Football League. I have to say, what a difference a year makes. We didn't have an event like this last year. Partly because we didn't think the players would turn up, because they hadn't turned up all season. What a transformation we have for this bunch of players this season. Absolutely awesome. And I've had the privilege and the pleasure, I mean that, of getting to know this bunch of players like no other bunch of players. I've got 3 of them living with me at the moment. I've had 3 living with me before this lot moved in. Actually, I must thank my children for giving up their 3 bedrooms. And they come back from university, no vacancies. So thank you, Brian, thank you, Ellie, and thank you, Patrick. But it has been awesome getting to know these players, because you actually get a real insight into your football club, which I've never ever had before. And I've heard from them how good and how professional this football club is. Gary Johnson, Gavin, Ian, all the guys down there. You know, as a chairman, you don't get involved with the dressing room. You don't really know what's going on in your football club. It's not like any other business. When you run a business, you know your business inside out. When you're chairman of a football club, you really don't know what's going on in that dressing room, down that training ground. And I have to say, Gary, you have put together the most awesome management team, the most awesome bunch of players this football club has ever had, without question. So this evening now is about saying thank you to lots of people. So I just want you to be a bit indulgent, because there's a lot of people I want to thank, because there's a lot of people who do a lot of work for this football club and go unnoticed and unsung. First of all, and Gary mentioned this, is the partners of the directors, the players. They all have a massive part to play, because when that player goes home, when you've had a loss, and we didn't get many of those, did we? But the partners are really, really important. So I think we should all put our hands together for our partners. And all of your partners, Karen Johnson, would you like to come forward, please, and receive some flowers? So, I want to start with the board of directors. And I want to mention a guy called Colin Farmer, who is our vice chairman. Chairman of Vice, I'm not sure which. Colin has been a director of this football club for 30 years. That is a life sentence, isn't it, Colin? But he has been there year in, year out, when this club was down in the Southern League, working his socks off. He loves his club like nobody else. He is actually a legend. 30 years on the board of directors of a football club is a huge achievement. And Colin is so passionate about this club. I want you to all cheer and give a clap to Colin Farmer. What I would say about Colin is the reason that Gary is here is because Colin made a phone call. I was so honestly depressed at this where we were last year, Colin just took the bull by the horns and he rang up Gary. And Colin Farmer got Gary Johnson to this football club. And that was probably the best thing you've ever done for me. I want to talk about the management team. I don't want to talk about Gary. I want to talk about Russell Milson first of all. Because Russell Milson has been with this football club for a long, long time as a player, working with the academy, assistant manager, and of course last year we gave him Mission Impossible. We asked Russell, to step in after Mr. Buckle had been moved on to take over the reins, and that was a hospital pass and a half for us. But what you did, Russ, you got the fans back engaged. You got the fans back on board, and that was a huge thing to do. So thank you very much, Russell. We are successful is that we have recruited the best manager, and the best manager has recruited the best players. But he didn't do that on his own, and he's already mentioned Pete Johnson. Pete Johnson has been absolutely awesome in recruiting these guys to this football club. And also on the subject of recruitment, mention Roger Hyatt, because Roger Hyatt has been working with the academy of this football club for years, recruiting local youngsters to join our club. And we'd have nothing more than an 11-year-old to work all the way through to become a Cheltenham Town footballer. So Pete and Roger, thank you very, very much for your fantastic work. I have mentioned the players, but I want to mention the players a little bit more because something happened earlier this year, and Gary talks about icebergs. We had an iceberg called the Football Association. Not only did they stop us playing back-to-back games, which would have helped us out with a fixture problem, they also decided to organise a non-league international against Ukraine in the middle of our Easter football period. Madness. And to their credit, Billy was selected to play in that team. Barts was selected to go into that team. Munsey was selected to be a standby. Actually, Munsey, a lot of the players didn't even get that far, did they? But I think the point about my story is that they all decided not to go to Ukraine because they wanted to stay with Cheltenham Town Football Club, fight for their places, be part of our team. That was an awesome what you did, guys. Really awesome. What a lot of people don't know about the talent we have in this football club is the celebrity chefs that we have. Now, nobody was more upset when Dylan got injured than the three lads that share the flat with Dylan. They weren't worried about the goalkeeper, they were worried about the loss of their chef. And I have to say, in our house too, we have James Dates, who's been looking after Cameron and Rob very, very well, I think, guys. I think you all a big favour. He's a fantastic chef. I do want to thank another of our staff, John Finnegan. I've already mentioned about John Finnegan. And it's funny, when you work with Gary, his sort of phrases rub off on you, don't they? You know, the iceberg thing, and these things don't happen by accident. Well, these events, they don't happen by accident. John Finnegan has put a huge amount of effort into this. When we took John Finnegan on, actually thanks to Colin Farmer, who spotted the talent, John had never sold anything in his life, apart from himself probably. But John came in and took on this commercial role, and we've had an awesome commercial season, helped of course by results, but by his personality and his knowledge of our football club. So John has done an immense job. And I also want to mention Mark Cousiner, who works for Platform Style, but has been also supporting John, introducing him to the real professionalism of sailing. So thank you, Mark, wherever you are, please show what you've done. I want to thank all the volunteers, too many of you to mention, but when we got relegated we asked so many staff to work for nothing, and so many of you did. So we really appreciate all you did. I want to thank our sponsors. Without sponsors, it's a real struggle, believe me. We raised this year about £300,000 of sponsorship. It's no mean target, no mean effort. So I really want to mention, as already been mentioned, Cole and Myra have just entered a new sponsorship deal which will bring them to 10 years as main shirt sponsors. That is an awesome thing. I'd like to ask Kate Baker, step up, please. And to receive an autographed shirt signed by the champions. I've got 15 of those now. But as well as Myra, we have Marchants Coaches, a local company, we have Benz's, we have World of Smile, we have LCI Rail, we have Hazelwoods. We have got some fantastic sponsors. We couldn't do without you. Thank you so much. I want to thank our fans. I think our fans have been absolutely awesome. We have a small bunch. They get a bit carried away. They throw a flare now and again. What is football if it's not passionate? And I actually love our passionate fans. Once went to Guiseley, went to Barrow. I love our passionate fans. So come back next year. We want to sell 1,500 season tickets next year. Let's do it. Finally. Well, almost finally. Gary presented a trophy earlier on for the Young Player of the Year. And Munsey won that. That was donated by the Rotary Club, which is a local charity, on behalf of Tim Cordell. And Tim Cordell died suddenly at the start of this season. I was at school with him. And he was a fan for 45 years with his wife and latterly with his grandson. And he spent the previous year working voluntarily for the football club. And I met with him for a coffee at the start of this season. And he was just so looking forward to the coming season, all the plans he had. And unfortunately, he died very, very, very suddenly. So that is the history behind the Tim Cordell trophy, and I'm delighted to be doing Finally, I have to mention Gary. I've worked with, I don't know how many managers. Some have lasted not very long. Some have been appalling. Some have been fantastic. We talk about Steve Cottrell, we talk about John Ward, we talk about Keith Downing, Bobby Gould. We've had some fantastic managers at this club. We've had some atrocious managers at this club, but let's be fair. Gary, without question, is the most complete manager that I have ever worked with. His attention to detail, his professionalism, his charm, his wit, his management skills. I could go on. Gary, there's no limit to the adjectives that can describe what a fantastic manager you are, which is why these players would be absolutely stupid not to come back next season. I would not bet against another promotion. Would anybody bet against another promotion? No. We keep this manager, we keep this manager team, we keep these players together, we bring some new ones in, we will take this league by storm. So, go on, guys, sign those forms. Gary, you have been absolutely awesome. I've loved working with you. It really was, I mean, Russell had Mission Impossible 1, I think you had Mission Impossible 2. I really did not think we would bounce back. That's obviously what we wanted to do. Did we really think we would do it? I think when we told you the budget, you said, you what, you having a joke? You having a laugh? Your budget, Gary, was probably half Forest Greens, less than half Forest Greens, Grimsby's, Wrexham's, Tranmere's. Probably the 10th biggest budget in this league. It's about quality, it's about people. So Gary, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This club was at its lowest ever ebb at the end of last season, without question. None of us felt like walking away. So you have turned that round in an unbelievable way. within 12 months with a completely new bunch of players. So, from the bottom of my heart, and everybody here, Gary Johnson, thank you very much indeed. It's very difficult to know how to acknowledge what Gary has done for this football club. So we've had some posters made which really sum up our season, which I hope Gary will put on his office for next season. Gary, I think you might like that one.
That's a picture of my dad.
You might like that as well. That is a great bunch of players and a fantastic manager. And this is the passion of the man. Thank you all very much. Have a great night.